Good morning. Happy Saturday, June 10th. Super excited to do this workshop with you guys today. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to give you a little agenda, right? Because you all know when we're on these workshops, I like to be like, this is what we're doing today, just so you know. And I feel like it's useful, right? We are going to start off with some celebrations. We know how big that is. And then I want to open it up for any burning questions that maybe you have, right? If you have anything that's like on the tip of your tongue, or maybe not, and you've been like just holding it down and you want to ask, but maybe you feel silly, this is going to be the space to do that. And then we're going to move into a little bit more around like personal branding. And then I actually have a whole lot of TikTok stuff for you guys. So if you're somebody who's been like wanting to figure out TikTok, I've got a lot of information. So this is definitely going to be like, you're going to want to write notes because this is, I personally took a training, okay, on this because I wanted to know more. So that's what I'm bringing to you. But the situation about this is that the notes are kind of like the way that I was taught was kind of a little bit all over the place. There's a method to it, but it's a note taken one. So definitely have your notes ready. And it's such good stuff that maybe you've thought of, but maybe you haven't, and you're like, I needed that reminder. So I'm gonna give it to you. Okay. So let's start Taskmaster. Just see your comment, Mel. Let's go ahead and start with celebrations. What would you like to celebrate? And remember, this is any sort of celebration. Doesn't have to be an enrollment. Maybe it is an enrollment. Amazing. Let's celebrate that. But anything that you've done in this past week that you are really proud of and that you want to give gratitude to. So whoever would like to go first, you can unmute. We've got a small crew today, so no need to raise your hand. But if you can't unmute, then go ahead and just type it in the comments.
I can celebrate first if no one wants to go. I'm celebrating that we're here on a Saturday morning, doing things to move our business along. I'm proud of you, babes, for being here. I'm just proud. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of everyone showing up for themselves and their lives and learning how to better themselves. And it makes me really happy to see. And then I'm celebrating myself for showing up on social while we had like a total chaos life at home with like workers and everything. And I just was like, my nervous system was like, and typically I would be like, I'm tired, I can't. And I was like, no, I need to show up. So even if it was at like 10 o'clock at night, I was in bed editing a reel, and I got a reel up every single day this week. And I showed up on my stories every single day this week. So I was like, okay, good for me. So
Love
we're
it.
celebrating that.
Consistency.
Yeah.
We love it. Who else? Macy said John is off for the next week and we are headed to the beach today. So thankful to have him off and have family time. That is so fun. Have the best time, Macy. Who else has something?
Erica, celebrate. I know you got something to celebrate, girl.
I'm like still sleeping. I did wanted to say something. New connections. Honestly, I've been connecting with a lot of people, planting my seeds here and there. And I know that that's slowly it's gonna help me in my business. So I'm really happy with that. I attended an event yesterday, networking event, and it was really fun. I connected with a lot of people. So that was really, really good. And it's something that is out of my comfort zone, but it's helping me grow.
I love that. That's awesome. Networking is huge. So I'm so glad that you're doing that. And just like you're saying, right? Like it's planting the seeds now,
Yes,
so that they will come later, right? And I think as long as you can continue keeping that mentality, you'll feel so good around just continuously networking because you're like, I'm just planting. I'm planting, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's
And
so
I have
good.
a hike tomorrow that I am hosting. I'm slowly building my community too. That's something that I'm very excited about. I think I finally find my purpose. Like my purpose is to help other people feel good about themselves, especially women, because I've been through it. I've been through a lot in my life and I have experienced a lot of things. And I know that this happened for a reason. And this is going to help me to help other people who've gone through the same things that I've been through in life. But especially when it comes to the confidence part, because I feel like a lot of us lack confidence. And that's the reason why we don't do the things we want to do, because we're scared of what people are going to think, what people are going to say. And I'm here to show them, you know what? No, like, don't think like that. Look at me, look at my journey. I've been through a lot. Like, if you were in my shoes, I don't even think you will be like me right now. Like, I have such a positive attitude in life in general, and I want to transfer that to other people.
So good. So good. Keep telling your story, girlfriend. That's huge.
Yes. Thank you.
Christy's saying, I'm celebrating my new leadership role, having teamies working the biz and having me in 3 ways and doing weekly Australian trainings has been so fire. I'm so proud of you, Christy. That's awesome. And you got a VIP this week too. Huge congratulations on that. We love to see the Aussies growing over there. You're killing it, babe. Keep it up. I'll celebrate something real quick. I'm celebrating some sideline. She's under, who did she say she was? I mean, so not direct in our lineage, but she's, I think, under Jacqueline Goldrich. She messaged me on Instagram like a few days ago and was like, hey, I met you at one of the events that you spoke at last year here in Utah. And she's like, I live in Utah. I would love to like get together so we can like powwow. So really excited to do that. We're working on setting up a time. But I love connecting with other sidelines because I just think we can all learn from each other. And especially somebody that's like not in our lineage at all. So I was just excited that she found me, she remembered me and reached out. So I'm excited for that. Anyone else like to celebrate before we move on? Go for it, baby.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I want to celebrate myself because I remember when I first started Monet, I was terrified of Facebook Lives. I was terrified of social media stories. I was able to talk, but not with the camera in front of my face. And I've been getting a lot of compliments from different friends. They're like, social media is for you. You're doing great. And I'm like, me? Really? But it's really been, it's been what, 6 months, almost 6 months that I've been in the company. And it's been amazing. I was able to do a Facebook Live last week, one every day, because I was doing a skin cycling routine, which is a night routine. And I've seen amazing results with my skin. And I really wanted to share with people. And there were so many people that were joining to look at the lives, and I got a lot of messages. So we're definitely planting that seed. And I'm so excited to see. And then when we got the skin sale, I was like, because I know there's a lot of people that are watching and they really want to get into it. They're just a little scared, but the videos are going to stay there. So I planted a lot of stuff. Before the lives, I mean, it was a lot of work getting to know all the products and having the right information, make sure that I was giving them good information about every single product. And I learned a lot for myself first, but then be able to share it. I think it was a great successful week last week. And then this week I usually work Monday through Wednesday through Thursday. I work a full-time job, 12 hours a day. So usually weekends I spend working with Monet. And I decided that Thursdays I was going to start doing my videos, and I did. And I mean, I already have a cart sent out and I'm excited. I should be getting a VIP very soon. So I'm just happy. I'm celebrating myself that I'm really pushing myself, getting completely out of my comfort zone. Even right now, it's just being on Zooms and putting my face out there. It's a big challenge for me. So I'm just excited of the new woman that with Monet, I'm slowly becoming more confident of myself, and I that's what I just wanted to celebrate me today.
Yay. I'm so proud of you for celebrating you. That's huge. That's huge. I'm like, wait, Esbati, if you've done what you've done in this business without putting your face on camera, I'm like, now you're putting your face on camera, like prepare for takeoff, girl. Seriously. But I've been loving your face on camera too. I didn't know that I wasn't following you on Instagram. So I had just started following Esbati, and you guys, she's speaking Spanish on her on her stories. And I jumped in there. I said, Esbati, I don't know what you're saying, but I really am enjoying this because she was doing her skincare routine. But I just love that so much because that's also something that is, I mean, it maybe doesn't feel like a big deal for you, but it is a big deal because like you being able to speak English and Spanish is like, it's like a niche, right, in itself. It's unique. And so I love that you were like diving into that, right? And I just think like people that also are bilingual are going to be like, oh, like I could do this too, and I could do it in whatever way I want to do it. So I just think that's really cool. Really proud of you. Okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into burning questions segment. I really like to open this up, and I know sometimes it feels like, oh, should I ask that? I don't know. Maybe I should know this and I don't. But I want you to ask the questions, okay? Because this is how we learn, right? You got to be coached. You got to learn. If you're struggling with something, if you're feeling like, maybe you're in a conversation or your content, whatever, this is your time to ask questions. So I'm going to open it up, and I know you don't want to go first, whoever that is, but I want you to go first. Whether you, again, need help with something, maybe you just want to bounce an idea, you can also do that during this time. But we're going to spend a few minutes here. So go ahead and ask your burning questions.
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay.
I noticed, especially yesterday, that I got new skincare quiz results. I wasn't able to see them. Have you guys been having that problem?
Yeah, I actually have had a few market partners have that problem. So did you look at them on a like laptop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then it will show you, right? Like you have a quiz, but then you can't see the results.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm understanding is that if you like, I think it's like a right click on the quiz itself and say like open in new browser or new window, it should then open it up in a new spot. For some reason, there's like a glitch where it's not opening up down below. But if you, I think again, it's a right click and then open in new browser or open in new window, it'll pop up on a separate spot.
Because I've tried in my cell phone too, and it won't let me see it.
Yeah, and the cell phone, I don't think you can choose that option to open it in like the browser.
I see. Okay.
The girls that were having the same struggle found that on, if you do it on your laptop and then you open in a new browser, it should pop up. Okay,
I'll check that out because those quizzes results are very useful for me. I use them a lot, so I was like, why I can't see them? But thank you.
Yeah, and let us know in the WhatsApp chat if that doesn't work. I know Molly was having that problem last week, and she had given me that kind of heads up, so she should be able to help us troubleshoot too. Cool. Who else has a question? Thanks, Esbati, for going first. Breaking the ice. None? Everyone feels good? If you do, we'll jump into training. And maybe you'll have questions from there. All right. Okay. Let's jump into kind of doing like a recap of last week. Some of you were on last week's call. Some of you maybe watched the replay, but last week we talked about personal branding. We talked about kind of like creating your story, right? And like telling your story. And I challenge you guys to do a video with like a voiceover. And obviously I haven't seen everybody's, but I'm curious. Tell me in the comments, type yes in the comments if you did that to some extent. If you didn't, it's all right. I'm going to challenge you to do it this week, because I really do feel like it is huge and it's powerful. I did a few of them last week, and each one of them brought new eyeballs to my page, which was so exciting. Like to the extent that I got a little notification and it said I had 818% new views on my stuff. 818. I was like, I didn't know that was a percentage. Like, to be honest, I don't know how it's like a number. I was like, is this a glitch? But then when I actually looked at my insights and I saw how many people were non-followers that were seeing my things, I thought, this is fantastic. This is great. I grabbed a few new followers, not a huge amount yet, which I don't anticipate. It's going to take some consistency, right? But I do think that really narrowing in on your story is going to be a big deal. And when I say your story, I'm not just saying your money story, right? It's like your human story, right? Like the season of life you're in, how you relate to people, how you give value, all right? So I'm curious, did anyone else, I see you guys were saying yes, that you did that. Did anyone feel like that was I don't want to say like a good move, but like, did you feel like, okay, this was actually like, I liked doing this, or maybe it was challenging, maybe you didn't really like it, but I would love to know your feedback in the comments. If you felt like it was something that you can continue doing, if you need help kind of like narrowing in like what that, you know, story looks like, we can also do that. But I'm curious how that went for you guys. I made my list of things I can talk about and film some content. Perfect. Amazing. And I'm also curious if anyone had like brain drama around it. That's the word that I use when it's like our head. Grace says, hi, it's me. And we talked about that a little bit. But I say this because I actually had a few of you, I don't think those people are on the call right now, but a few people messaged me after we gave the assignment and said, oh, well, I recorded it, but now I'm trying to put the voiceover on it. And the voiceover, I don't know if I should say this or that. And a lot of brain drama. And I just said, well, what would it look like if you actually just trimmed it up, said what you needed to say, and posted it? So I just anticipate that there's other people who have that. Christy said, totally can continue it was fun and scary to talk about real life things so close to the heart. Totally, right? It's a piece of like vulnerability. And here's the cool thing. It's like, it's your page. You get to decide like how vulnerable you want to get. You can be vague, totally. But I think there's a lot of power in people just hearing you and like hearing, you know, what value you're bringing. I loved Christy's. I just want to give like a few little examples. If you guys want to go find Christy on social, you can see, I saw it on Facebook, the reel that she had put there, but Christy and Grace, I'm going to use them as examples, did two different styles of this, but both were impactful. And so I think it's like important to recognize that. So Christy did her video while she was doing her skincare, I believe, right? Was it skincare or hair care? She was like in front of the mirror. And it was just that time, right? That was how she filmed. I know she's a mom. She's busy. She ain't got the time probably to film her whole day, right? It's like she's in this season. So for her, it was this one piece of her day that she filmed. And then from there, she voiceovered that one segment. And I really loved that because it gave contrast to like, you don't have to film your whole stinking day if you don't have the time or the capacity to, right? But it was still really impactful. And then Grace, on the other hand, if you guys don't know Grace, she's a newlywed. She doesn't have any kids yet. She's got dogs. Her and I are living the same life, essentially, just a few years ahead. And she was able to film multiple things in her day. Her get up, her getting dressed, her taking her dogs out, right? Like a few hours stint. And then she did her voiceover on that. So I just want to show you the contrast. Like neither way is right or wrong, but you get to choose like what's going to work in your life. And that's fantastic. Both of them showed a piece of kind of the behind the scenes, which is really the biggest part. Chrissy said 3 kiddos, but I'm getting more videos ready for more of these stories and reels. Amazing. Can't wait to see them. Okay, cool. So I want you guys to think about this. This is the one piece of thing I wanted to kind of spark in regards to personal branding is how can you bring value to people? Okay, that's the main, that's like the emphasis of your personal brand. How can I bring value to people? Okay, so again, that's going to look different for everyone. For instance, again, I'm going to use Christy. She's like right under me on this thing. So like my eye keeps going to her. Christy's going to bring value to mamas. She's going to, in her video, she was talking about how she was finding her again and how she didn't even know that like part of her was kind of lost with having kiddos and how giving herself self-care was a way for her to really honor herself and to find that piece of her. That's valuable. All of you mamas said yes and amen, right? Like that is valuable to see that modeled. That is the value piece. Okay, so I say this because I used to be somebody who would be like, I have nothing valuable to say. I don't know what's valuable. And it's like, no, that's the piece of value. Does that make sense? So for myself, I'm not in that season. I do this full time. Like what piece of value do I have? And I had this moment actually just this last week that I really thought, you know, who am I like at my core? And I'm like, what the title that I have loved my whole life and that I don't take lightly is that I'm a big sister. I love my brother. If you know me, I am obsessed with my brother. It might not be very healthy, honestly. I don't know, but I love my brother. It's just us. I'm the oldest of us. And I also really assume that like oldest child role. And then also being the sister. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is like kind of funny. I actually have a reel ready that I'm putting up today. I kind of assumed this position of like everyone's older sister. Like kind of on accident. Like honestly, like I always like go to give people advice or like I'm like, oh, let me like love you or like, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of assume that position. So I thought, well, you know what? If I can naturally do that, then I probably have a lot of natural big sister vibes that I could like give people. Right. And so I'm really going to start to lean into that. And that's my value. That is the value I should say that I'm bringing, not my value. That is the value that I'm going to bring to people is my advice, my life lessons, the things that you would want to hear from your big sister. Okay. So, I just want you guys to think about that when you start making your content is what is the piece of value that I bring, right? And that's going to look different for all of us. Some of us might look, it might kind of mirror one another, just like with a different flavor. And that's great. Your story is yours. Okay. You guys want to get into TikTok? Because I'm really excited about this. So get your notes. Because this is gonna be a note-taking thing. It's a lot of like pew, 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 little like not gut punches because it's not like intense, but like bullet points is what I want to say. Like do this, don't do this type of thing for TikTok. And first off, I want to know who is on TikTok. Type TikTok in the comments if you are. If you're not, that's all right. Maybe after this training, you'll want to be. If you don't, it's all right. I will say this. I am about to take another class on Instagram. And you guys, I'm going to be honest. Here's the thing. I'm always learning. I've been in this business for almost 5 stinking years. And you bet your butt, if someone is doing more than me, like in some capacity, if they're killing it and I can see it and I want to learn from them, I'm taking a class. Like I just am. I want the knowledge. I want to know because I want to get better. So I just want to give you guys permission that like, of course we come here and we train you, but if there's someone that you're following that you're like, I want to learn from them, invest in yourself. There's literally no problem with that. You are your own boss. You are in the social selling space and you have the authority to do so. Okay. So I'm curious. So there are a few of you on TikTok. Is anyone like very intimidated by TikTok? Type me in the comments if you're like, that is actually terrifying to me. Jessie Lee, she's fired. Fire. Okay, Chrissy's intimidated. Mel and I have like every other day conversations about TikTok. As baby, okay. Rebecca, I'm scared of the mean people. That's real. That's real. But here's what I've noticed. There's a lot of trolls on Instagram too. We just somehow have found ourselves like really comfortable on Instagram because it's been around longer, you know? And it's also been like community based, like where you can get the same thing on TikTok. People just, I think what has happened, honestly, our association with like mean people being on TikTok, I think it's more so just the timeline actually is like people got like meaner on the internet like after 2020, and that's like when TikTok really blew up. So we don't associate it with Instagram as much because that's been around since what, 2012. So we're like, that's like my own girl. Like we went to high school together, you know? So that being said, I hope that after this training, after these things I give you, you either feel inspired to make a TikTok, or maybe you don't, and that's okay. This is your business. You get to, they're just keyboard warriors, 100%. You get to make that decision. What I will say about this, your girl has had 3 different TikToks, okay? Because I'm one of these people that's like, let me get in there and figure it out. Let me try it. I want to taste it myself. Like I really am that kind of person. Like I have no problem starting over. I'm about to start over right now, and that's why I took this, because I want to go in there and I want to do it really good. And I want to be an example for you guys. I want you to be like, oh, she's had 3 TikTok accounts, and I'm not telling everyone to have 3. Okay, I'm not. But I want you to see that I've tried and I'm willing to try again. Okay. So let's get into it. Here's the things. The last little thing I'll say about it real quick is TikTok. Okay, maybe you're asking, well, I have Instagram. I like to really like run my business over there, or I have Facebook, right? Or I do things there. The thing that's unique about TikTok is that it is growing faster than any other platform. It is also used as a search engine over any other platform. I am literally that person. I'm like, how to put garlic in a recipe, you know, like whatever. Like I literally type it into TikTok, like where to find this at Best Buy. Like someone's gonna make a video about it. I will tell you. Like it's how we used to use YouTube to do stuff. People are using TikTok. Okay, so what does that mean for you? That means that you could be searchable in the sense that maybe somebody's like, for instance, as Baby's doing this skincare segment of this new what did you say, like multiple days of this thing that you're doing, someone could be searching like nighttime skincare routine for, I don't know, moms, whatever, and like you could come up in the search, which you can on Instagram too, but since skin cycling, perfect. You can on Instagram too, but the SEO, which is the search engine optimization on TikTok, is greater. So your likelihood of being able to reach other people is bigger there. Okay, so that's important. When you're growing a business, you want to network, just like Erica was talking about. She's networking, she's meeting more people. What if you could do that from your videos? What if you could do that? I know I'm talking a lot on this, but this is a big deal. I will say one last thing, and then I promise I'll get into this. I experienced that last summer. I put a video up, the dumbest video you ever seen. I did this like little like viral dance, which that's not trending anymore, so I wouldn't say do that, but I did it. And I put in the little thing, like, where are my people at? I live in Utah. I'm this old. These are like, I have 2 dogs. I'm married. I like to go to brunch. I posted it. I went to bed and I came back to 50,000 views, 2,000 or something comments of all these women within an hour radius of me in Utah that wanted to connect. So what did I do? Because I was like, how am I supposed to go to coffee with all these people? I can't. So I tried to make like a group chat with us. That didn't work. So we ended up making a Facebook page. That Facebook page is still going. I'm working on planning picnic in the park with these people. Literally, I did 2 or 3 of them last summer. The first picnic in the park, 17 people showed up. We all came with camping chairs and our food and we hung out. And guess what? From that, I've gotten one market partner and one VIP and some really great friends. So what's the purpose of that? I had no idea that video was going to blow up the way it did, but it sure did. And I got friendship out of it and I got business out of it, which is huge. Erica, I think that would be huge. I bet you could meet people on there that are in your area. 100%. Okay, let's get into it. Here are your TikTok growth tips, tricks, and little things. I'm gonna go through them, and then if you write something down that you're like, I want to ask about that, just like circle around it or like make a star and we'll come back. Okay. So first and foremost, when you're making your TikTok account, you want to make a creator account, not a business account. Even if you're running it as somebody that's running a business, it needs to be a creator account. Okay. Because TikTok will not give you all the songs apparently on the business one. And for some reason it's like limiting your growth for people. So creator account, not business account. The second thing, use the same username if possible and the same photo as your Instagram. Okay. Why? Because people need to be able to recognize you on multiple platforms. And if they have to question, I know it sounds silly, but if it takes more brain work than they want to give, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. So have the same picture, have the same name if possible. Sometimes, like if your username is taken, maybe just add like an underscore in between something or, a period or a number, but like don't make it mom of 4, Jess Yoder. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that wouldn't make sense. Like somehow keep Jess Yoder in there with something else. Okay. The other thing is on TikTok, there is a little space up by like your bio that you can actually link your Instagram right away. Okay. Now you do have to get an actual link to like your hair quiz or things like that. You have to hit 1,000 followers. So you got to build that up, right? So how do we get people there, but also seeing you and engaging with you if you don't have that link? Well, you can link your Instagram. Okay. So you'll see that when you're setting up your profile, go ahead and link the Instagram. And then what you can do is the first line in your bio, you can just put follow me up here too. Little arrow to your Instagram. Follow me over here. So it's giving people that call to action, right? That when they come in, even if you have 5 followers, because that's what's going to happen. Guess what? When you start your TikTok, we all have 0. And people are going to be like, well, how do I connect with this chick? You want them to come to your Instagram. Here's the other, like, it's kind of like about TikTok. Some people are getting rolled out the feature where you can message anyone, but some people you cannot. And so typically you have to follow each other to message direct, like DM on TikTok. So you really want to the biggest concentration for this is to provide value and bring them to another platform. Really is like the way that I want you to think about it. Cool. Okay. So the other piece is in your bio, you want to say who you are, right? Because people are coming in there, and I don't mean like, hi, my name is blah. I mean, sure, if you want to put that in there, if that feels good to you, great. But who are you? What value are you giving? Because people need a piece of connection with you. I think the number of kids that you have is great. I think if you're trying for kiddos and you are going to be sharing that journey, that's great. Maybe where you live, but not in the sense of like, I don't think we need to be given town names. You can put your state, like obviously privacy. If you don't want to put that, that's fine. But like things that make you unique for people when they come to your profile, they go, yep, I want to follow her. We have something in common, right? It can be kind of broad, but there needs to be a little bit of a piece there. And then from this training, she said, put a call to action. But while you're trying to just grow to your 1,000 followers, I don't know that a call to action would be super relevant, because her call to action was become a UGC creator with an arrow down to her link. But since you don't have your link yet, do you see what I'm saying? So you could have your call to action of like, find me on Instagram. Let's connect on Instagram. or DM me on Instagram and tell me you found me here, right? Like some sort of just connection piece would be good. Okay. Now, here's where it gets good. If you have a current TikTok and maybe you've used it for random videos, maybe you take your Instagram reels and you put them over there, or you've just been like trying different trends or like doing whatever over there, or you've tried to have some sort of consistency, but you're not currently posting regularly and it's not the same type of content, you're going to want to start a new account. I know, this is why I'm starting my third account again. I was like, well, girl, thanks. All right, got to make a new email address apparently, because every email that you have is the like how it links to the account, and it won't let you link to, so you might have to make a new email. It's fine. We do this for business, okay? But here's why. Because the first 30 days of your TikTok being created are your most important. She said really 30 to 60. Why? Because you're teaching the app to find specific people, to show your content to specific people. Okay. Now I can use this example again in real life relevancy. I have a personal account that I created like in 2020, right? When like week 1 of quarantine, when we all like created them, right? And I have these like stupid trends. Okay. Again, I had the app, I deleted the app, whatever, for the last 3 years. I've posted things on there. This is where I put the Utah one, and that did pop off. But ever since, none of my videos get much traction. I've tried a lot of different things. I did my like different clothing series. I've done hair stuff there. I've done multiple things. And nothing really like gains a lot of traction, and that's okay. But the reason being is because TikTok's like, so what are you trying to show? Who you talking to? We don't understand, right? So it's not sending me to the people that I want to connect with. Whereas last December, so about 6 months ago, I made an exclusively hair TikTok. Some of you maybe have remembered me talking about this. That one has almost 3,000 followers. Started to taper off because I haven't gave it as much of attention, but I grew from 0 to 1,000 in like 5 days. Because all I did was hair. So TikTok was like, oh, she's talking about hair. Okay, let's send this out to everybody who has researched something about hair. Right? So I can tell you that I've seen it happen both ways. It was super exciting to see it that fast, but I also know that sometimes it takes a little bit longer, right? So I've had some friends who have done a new account and it takes a month or 2 to get up to that, but it's still possible, because if you're having relevant videos, TikTok will understand who you're trying to talk to. So now I'm not telling you all, in fact, I'm going to get there in a second. I'm not telling you to go make a TikTok just for your hair or your skin, unless you want to. As someone who has experienced what that is now like of only putting up hair content, I have gained a lot of followers. I have gotten, I think, 2 VIPs from that, but there's not a lot of connection there, right? Because I'm just giving hair stuff. Like, people don't know Caitlin. They don't, and I've tried to like kind of make things like, okay, how can I add my personality in here too? And they don't go as well because people are liking these quick tips and tricks on the hair page, and that's fine. But building trust with these people is a lot harder because they don't know who I am as a human. Okay. So that being said, could you be just a beauty page or something? Yes. I would encourage you, however, to really keep your personality there. Like really let people get to know who you are. Especially now, storytelling is huge on TikTok. Vlogs, storytelling, that type of stuff is huge. Okay. So a few other things to know about when you first start your account is the first 30 to 60 days are super important. You want to get to that 1,000 followers so that you can get your link in the bio. And then to use a cover image. And this is something that I hadn't done yet. But when you go, if you're familiar with it, when you go to post it, it'll say like cover photo, and you can click that, and you can usually just pick some part of the video, kind of like on Instagram Reels, that you can select. But there's also little banners on the bottom that you can put up onto the photo and type like day in the life, or what the heck is an oil treatment, or like whatever your video is about, right? And why is this? Because what happens with TikTok is one of your videos will go out onto someone's For You page. They'll see it. If they like it, the first thing they're doing is clicking on your profile and they're looking at your grid. And if you have a whole bunch of cover photos with different things that you're talking about, they can find exactly what they want. People use this for like a dictionary. Like truly, they're like, oh, what else has she got? Okay. And it makes it easy access for them to come and binge your content. So have that cover photo. Even if you're like, I'm just showing like my day in the life, great, put it on there, because people are like, what type of stuff is she giving? So being able to give that heads up, again, it takes the brain power out for your viewer. And like, this sounds silly, but that's what we want. Like, we want them to not have to think about it. We want them just to be like, yep, I like her. I like what she's doing. Cool. Okay. This is what she said. She said, sometimes it takes 50 to 100 videos of very niche specific and binge worthy content to grow your audience. So how can you make binge worthy content that's also educational? So what do I mean by niche? This doesn't have to be, again, like she's saying super specific, but what she meant by this was stay in that alley when you're talking about stuff, right? So if you're talking about wellness stuff, stay in wellness for all 50 to 100 videos. If somebody like comments on there and you do a comment reply, which by the way, that's a huge way to grow, huge, because the comment reply video will come up on someone's For You page and they'll be like, oh, that's a good reply. Now let me go see what else she's talked about, right? It's just another way to bring eyeballs in. But you really think about that. Like, this is a long-term thing too. But to me, it gave me a lot of like relief. 50 to 100 videos. Okay. On this specific thing, I can do that. Let me just get creative with it. Right? Here's the other thing. TikTok people, and I mean, this is Instagram too. How many of you follow somebody because you know what they're going to post? Like, you love watching this one person's like day in the life, or you love watching this one person's workout videos. Like, you seek that out, right? You love watching this one person rant about, whatever. The predictability is huge. And I didn't realize this until I took inventory on the people that I love to follow. Guys, real talk, I get annoyed when this one follower doesn't do her normal get ready with me. When she throws in something else, I'm like, bro, like, I was waiting for you to come and talk at me. Like, I want that for real. And I had to like be like, okay, if that's what I like to watch, my followers need some sort of predictability from me too. So that doesn't mean you can't get creative and throw different things. No, but for instance, if you're somebody who, I'm going to use Mel. Mel's walking on the beach and giving education about something, people are going to like that. Then they're going to expect Mel to be walking on the beach again, right? And giving education. Or maybe you're somebody who, during your skincare, you're giving fire tips about being a mom. They're going to expect you to be, and you don't have to do it every single time, but how can you essentially duplicate yourself is what I'm saying, right? Now, this is huge because it gives you kind of like a pattern to fall in. And I know sometimes that feels like repetitious, but that's the point. People want predictability. They want ease from you, okay? So storytelling trends and education or entertaining are the biggest things, okay? She said you can do the trends that are going around, but make them niche specific for you. Okay, so what's that mean? Well, say there's a certain song that comes up and then a certain text that flashes on the screen, and that's what everybody is doing about their mom, their dog, their husband, whatever. You can do the trend, but make it specific to what you talk about on your page. Does that make sense? Because trends are good. It's how you're going to get pushed out, but make it specific. Again, so you're only calling in those certain people. Okay. Use a caption to expand on your video. This was huge. I'm somebody who typically doesn't take the time to write out a caption, but she said that people love to read captions. And she said, never once have I had somebody be like, your caption literally was just what you said in the video. No, they feel like they're getting more value because they're not only hearing it, but now they're reading it. So even if you're repeating yourself, put it in both places. Keep your text the same, the font that you're using. So again, this is just like with predictability. The green screen filter, again, I'm telling you, these are kind of all over the place, but write them down. The green screen filter is a really great way to be educating people, right? So what is a green screen? That's whenever you see somebody's like floating head and there's like a picture in the background, they're like, oh, like look at this, right? I'll do that sometimes with like making carts or something. But what if you did this on, something relevant to what you're going to be building your TikTok on, and you're like, look at this is what I'm talking about. Like, people feel like they're getting educated. I think people think you're on the news, honestly, right? It's like being the weatherman type of vibes. Okay. Doing a stitch is also a really great way to get into other people's audiences. So if you follow somebody and you're like, oh man, I really love the content they give, I feel like we'd have the same audience. We'd have the same people. Like the people in their comment section are the people I want to hang out with. You can stitch their video and you can be like, I so agree with him. Oh my gosh, yes. Like everything he's saying. You don't have to say anything like huge and powerful, but you just giving this like third party validation to the guy that you're following or girl. People are gonna be like, oh, and who is she? Just a way to like get into someone else's network, right? Oh, this was huge. Create with text on top. So for instance, I'm gonna show you what that means. If I'm taking a video, let's see if you can see this. Probably not. Kind of. I'm taking a video. Can you see this? Can you see my screen over here? Kind of. If I'm taking a video, I want to take my video so that there's room at the top here for my text to go on. And I thought, you know what? That's so interesting because I never do that. And then I end up having to put my text right in the middle of my screen. And sometimes it goes over something or whatever. And she said, if you go and watch people that are blowing up on TikTok, every single one of them is very intentional about leaving a little bit of headroom to be able to put like the title of what they're talking about. The day in the life of blah, 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 blah. And because now apparently TikTok has it for everyone's accounts personally, you can have your captions just come on automatically. They're putting it down below. So you don't have to put the captions on there if you don't want. But that being said, just up top is going to be like your heading. So let me take a picture so you can see what I mean. Okay. I have enough room up here that I could be like day in the life. Whereas normally I take pictures like this. And then I'd be putting it across my body, right? Put it up top. Cool. Okay. Okay, this is a biggie. And I thought this was really, really interesting. On TikTok, people do not want to be sold to, but they want to buy from you. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's literally like the one line that I will like think of every single time. They want to buy from you, but they don't want to be sold to. So what does that mean? That means how educational, how value, how much personality, how much can I bring to this for people to fall in love with me or what I'm creating or whatever, that they're going to come over to Instagram and they're going to be like, and I will buy. Right? You guys remember, I think it was last week when I showed the girl, the mom, if you weren't on, that's okay. But she had the vlog and she's like, I miss my husband. And she just like was telling all her things. And I'm like, she could have sold me this maple syrup she was using, the toilet brush, anything. I was going to buy it. And she didn't sell me anything, but I was ready to buy from her, right? Why? Because of the trust. So think about that when you're putting content out. They don't want to be sold to, but they want to buy from me. That's a huge statement. So think about that too, in the sense of you can drop like, yeah, if you're, you're talking about your skincare, whatever. By the way, if you're curious, you can just go to the little link that's over on my Instagram and I'll totally hook you up with skincare. But anyway, so yeah, I love this C Radiance because blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? Like you're storytelling, you're talking, you're saying, hey, you can buy from me, but I'm not selling you. We're not talking about flash sales there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they want to buy from you, but you just gotta really put it in there. Make it a little value sandwich. It's like you got your value, give a little buy for me here. Put it together. Okay. Your caption, so what you type out, is SEO, meaning The words you put in your caption are the things that people are searching. So think about that. You're like, I'm a mom of 3 and my self-care is really important. When somebody looks up mom of 3, self-care, you could be on the video, right? So really, you're gonna almost feel like you're talking to a kindergartner when you're writing your captions, because you're like, wow, I'm really being descriptive. Really walking people through this. Yes, that's what you want to do. Okay. We got just a few more minutes. I do have to stop at the top of the hour because I have an appointment. So we're gonna go through this. Does anyone have Snapchat, or do you remember Snapchat? I don't currently use it, but I had it. Christy says no. I don't know if it was in Australia. Have you heard of it, Christy? Okay. So Snapchat essentially was like, we would just like send videos to our friends. You'd like see people's stories. It was like before Instagram had stories. Anyways, the person said TikTok is like Snapchat. Casual is good. Like, some of my favorite people are people that are sitting in their car in their parking lot at their work and saying something on their phone, right? So like, you don't need to be done up. You don't need to be whatever. Like, think of it as Snapchat. So if you were somebody that ever used it or still use it, that's the same type of vibe you want to bring to TikTok. Okay, so the caption, another piece on the caption is you can have a hook and then write out everything you talked about in the video. Hashtags. This is something that gets asked a lot, actually. The things you want to hashtag are only the searchable things for your video. Don't hashtag For You page. Don't hashtag the trending things that come up as soon as you push hashtag. There'll be like random things with like 3 billion users. Don't use that. Use the hashtags that things would be actually searchable for your video. And then she actually said, use the ones that have the smaller, which I hadn't heard that. So that's going to be something that I will try. So for instance, let's say you're hashtagging wellness journey. If there's one that has 3 million, or there's my wellness journey and it has 300,000, take the 300,000. Okay. So it can still be a big number, but if it's lesser than the biggest. Okay. She did say, if you're going to jump on trending videos and things that you want like pushed out quickly, make it, she said, dumb it down. It needs to be an instant connection. Meaning what? Meaning if it's a trend where the video just pops up and it's got a trending sound and something that just has text over your picture, you need that text to be such an instant connection to somebody, they don't have to think about it. She said, if your people have to think, wait, what is she saying? What is she meaning? You lost them. Does that make sense? So if it's too long, and I know this feels very like, oh my God, how many rules are there? But really, when you start looking at this, it makes content, at least for me, it's like easier because I'm like, oh, I have all these parameters. Cool, I can create in this. You want that trending thing to be instant, right? So like, for instance, I'll show you what I've created. By the way, a lot of TikTok trends come over to Instagram. So if you can ever catch one early, which I think I caught one. So I'll just show you. You're not gonna be able to read it, but I'll let you see the video of what it is first. It's literally me drying my hair, okay? But it says my beige flag, which, has anyone seen that trend? Where it's like somebody's beige flag or somebody's red flag or their green flag. You guys know what I mean by that, right? Like the cautionary, everybody's like, no, what does that mean? Someone's red flag is like something that they do weird. Your beige flag is essentially just like, it's one of those things that's just like, it is what it is about you. So I put my beige flag, treating everyone like a sister, giving advice on anything and everything about your 20s, money, marriage, and how to be your best self. Oh, and if I love you, I'll probably challenge you, which might also trigger you. That's it. So I felt like that's descriptive, but though the girls that get it will get it, you know? That's the type of thing you want to think about when you're making those trending things. Okay, we got 3 more minutes. Here we go. Yes to going live on TikTok. You can't do that until you got 1K followers, but yes, because it builds connection. Basic, emphasis on basic, especially in the start, because you're really going to be able to just call in your people with those basic things. She said, if you're struggling on what kind of content to create, think about the things that you go, oh, everyone knows about this already. Create on that, because the thing that you think everyone knows about, they probably don't. So create on that. Oh, this is big. A lot of there, you'll see things that float around that people are like, to grow your TikTok, you have to post 5 TikToks a day. No, you don't. She said, I posted 1 a day for 30 days and grew my account. She said, I think if you want to do more and you're inspired and you have the content to do it, do it. But 1 to 3 a day is fine. Don't burn yourself out. The minute you burn yourself out, you won't create. Okay. And then someone had asked, what about time of day? She said, I posted when I had time because I have a child. She's like, I posted at 11 a.m. I posted midnight. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because she said, what I have found, especially in the beginning, you don't have much of an audience yet. So once you do, you'll have an analytic back in your TikTok, like on the creator side, that says, hey, most of your followers are like here around this time. You could post then. But when you're building, just post. It doesn't really matter. That's what I got. Just fire hose you with everything about TikTok. But I hope that was helpful. I hope you got some nuggets from it. I would love to see if you guys go and create one this week. If you do, let us know. And I think some of these things can be used on Instagram. To be honest, I'm doing another like masterclass thing next week, so I'll find out and come back to you. But go and take this, run with it, go and create, and just have fun. I think that's the biggest piece. It's like, don't get too in your head about what it is that you're putting out there. Figure out your niche, your brand, who you want to be known for there, and just go. Cool. All right, guys, thanks for being here, and we'll talk soon. Bye, y'all.